Well, you join me in my new to me 2017 Ford Focus RS. This car is a replacement for my Mazda 3 MPS, which I had for 13 years. It was a great little car. Probably came to a time where, it needed a little bit of work. There's a few things are starting to wear out on it, so I bit the bullet and decided to sell that car. I've also sold my Civic, which is my track Civic as well, and I've basically rolled the funds from those sales into this car. So why did I buy an RS Focus? I wanted something very similar to what I had in the MPS 3 in terms of power, but also practicality of a four-door. Originally I was looking for just a newer replacement for the car effectively, so a front-wheel drive turbo. So the logical choice was an i30N or a Honda Civic Type R, maybe an FK8, one that's slightly older. I drove 3 separate i30Ns. I really wanted to like the car, but I just didn't. I'm really sorry for those that really rate the i30N, but I just really struggled. I think with the build quality, the interiors feel quite cheap. It also felt like you really had to push the car to get it to go. As well, axle tramp was quite bad in them. So there was a few things I was already like, I'm going to have to fix that. Gearbox mount, rear hinge mount, that sort of thing. Civic Type R I really liked. Obviously, I have an affinity for Hondas. But I think the FK8 in the looks departments, there's a little bit too much going on with it. And I just couldn't see myself having it as a daily. And that sort of led me on down another path of sort of looking at BMW M140s, potentially an FL5 Civic. It's probably a little bit expensive, or a bit more than what I really want to spend for a daily. So one of the cars that sort of was in that price range was the Focus RS, and I drove one when they were new, back in sort of 2016, 2017. Quite liked it at the time, but obviously they had a lot of head gasket issues and whatnot, so didn't really pursue that any further. And then I drove one again at a dealership in Werribee, actually, sort of south of Melbourne. Really liked the platform, didn't like that particular car. There's a few things that were sort of a little bit wrong with it, but liked the platform and always thought, look, if a car comes up that's reasonably good, I might have a bit of a go at it and just see how it gels over a little time, and if I don't like it, I'll move it on and potentially get something else. This particular car popped up on car sales. It was a Port Augusta car, so about 400 k's north of Adelaide, probably about 1,000 kilometres from where I live. It was a trade-in, one owner vehicle, about 42,000 k's, late 2017 build. So being a late 2017 build, avoided issues with the head gasket. I had the car shipped from Port Augusta down to Adelaide. The dealer that had the vehicle had a sister dealership there and agreed to ship the car down, which I think they're actually going to do anyway, to be honest. And then I had a pre-purchase inspection done in Adelaide, so didn't see the vehicle until after I'd purchased it. There was a couple of things that were picked up on pre-purchase inspection, mostly cosmetic, like it had a full service history, had no previous accident damage. It's had a few little paint spot touch-ups here and there, but all in all, it's actually a very clean sort of one-owner car. Did the deal on the car. I flew over to Adelaide. We've got family in Adelaide, so I stayed with them, picked the car up, and then I flew back the next weekend and picked it up, and now obviously in the process of driving 800 kilometres back home to Victoria. Fuel economy wise, so it's pretty heavy on fuel, to be honest. If I have a look, so at 110 k's an hour, or about 70 miles an hour, it's averaging about 8.5 to 9 litres per 100 k's. Now, it's probably not too bad, but it's also not that great. In the 300 kilometres I've done from Adelaide, so partway through the trip, it's averaged just under 10 litres per 100. That included obviously some driving out through the Adelaide Hills to get onto the highway. So obviously used a little bit of fuel there, but it's telling me total tank range is about 500 k's. Be good to get a little bit more out of it, but obviously it is what it is. So future plans for the car, I just need to get it registered in Victoria. So we'll do that shortly. And then we'll probably just start by addressing some of the cosmetic issues on the car. I might film a separate video for that, I may not as well. We'll see how that sort of pans out. But yeah, we'll just get familiar with the car, and I might look at some very light sort of cosmetic mods. I might do something with this seat, we'll see, but we'll just get the car cleaned up and registered in my name, I think in due course, and yeah, we can go from there. So currently just approaching 300 kilometres into the trip. I've got about another 400 odd, give or take, to do. So there'll be another sort of 4.5 hours probably, with a couple of brake stops. Probably need to get some more fuel as well, because I reckon I'll be right on empty in this tank. But yeah, all in all, like, the seats are very comfortable. You sort of think, you know, with a sports seat or a sports bucket like the Recaro CS's, that they wouldn't be comfortable on a long journey, but it's very, very livable. I was a little bit worried it was going to be a little bit sort of restrictive, and I'd have to start to get a numb ass and that sort of stuff, but so far so good, so no complaints there. But yeah, all in all, I'm really happy with the car so far. We'll see what the future holds with it, I think. So thanks for watching, and there'll be more content coming through on the RS, and yeah, hope to see you again soon.